Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? As you could probably tell, I am not in a great mood. My 49ers look like absolute rubbish today, again for the second week in a row. Uh, yeah, they do not look like the team that went to the Super Bowl only 6 months ago. They look like the 49ers from about 8 years ago. How are you all, DJ? I hate mornings. Peekaboo Cockatiel, Maria. Who else is here? Juniper's here. Hey, Juniper. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you again. Danny Mitchell's here. Bees are life. Penguin is here. Hello. How are you? And Peekaboo Cockatiel. It's the evil bunny. That's right. The evil bunny is back. I hope the net's going to be all right because it's been playing up all morning. So I hope it's going to be okay. Yes, they look absolutely shite. They we don't lose in LA against the Rams and McVay. We don't lose against them, and to completely collapse in the fourth quarter and not be able to get a touchdown is ridiculous. And there should be someone fired over this. So, Gambler says, "Hi, Ping and chat. Hi, how are you? We're not a sports talk channel, but on Sundays we do a little bit. But here, the story I have here for you, let me show you. It says, body found in Glen Iris apartment, likely woman reported missing according to police, and her partner was detained. It says this is Birmingham. So Birmingham officers found a body while responding to a welfare check at a Glen Iris apartment complex on Friday that they believe is likely a woman reported missing earlier in the day. Detectives of the department's Special Victims Unit launched a missing person investigation on 27-year-old Maria Juan, who was last seen Thursday night, according to Officer Truman Fitzgerald. Members of her family reported her missing after finding it suspicious that they had not seen or heard from her since then. About 3:30 p.m., South Precinct officers were called to an apartment at the Hillside in the 1500 block of 17th South Street, 17th Street South to conduct a welfare check. Inside, they found an unresponsive woman. It says Birmingham Fire, Rescue, and Service personnel responded to the scene and pronounced the woman deceased. They said Fitzgerald said officers haven't definitively confirmed that the woman is her, and police are waiting on the Jefferson County Coroner's Office. However, we strongly believe this will end up being her. During the investigation, officers learned about some of the people she was with on Thursday night, which led North Precinct officers to detain a man on Friday in downtown Birmingham that police described as a person of interest. The man, described by Fitzgerald as a romantic partner of the victim, is being transferred to police headquarters for an interview with homicide detectives. Our officers do suspect foul play is involved in the female's death. Asked if there had been any signs of violence in the apartment, the officer said there may have been a domestic disturbance. He credited the missing woman's family for giving information that led officers to detaining the man. All right, I'm going to try to find a photo of this man. Give me 2 minutes. All right, let me see if I can find a thing about him. 27-year-old Maria Juan. Let's have a look. Can we find a photo of a person of interest taken into custody? All right. No photo, though, of the suspect. That is interesting. Yeah.
Today, and police detained the man in connection with the case. WVTM 13's Zoe Blair, live and local tonight, after speaking with a woman who says she's the victim's mother. What does she tell you, Zoe?
Sherry, Guy, 27-year-old Maria Juan's mother tells me she's been scared something like this would happen to her daughter for a long time. Zenobia Akil's mother I'm so sorry. Zenobia Akil tells me the father of Maria Juan's children has told her in the past that he would kill her.
I voiced it to my daughter. I said, be very careful because he says he's going to kill you. She said, no, he's not. I said, yes, he's going to try.
Zenobia Akil says her daughter was a loving mother. Akil believes the father of her grandchildren is the one responsible for her daughter's death. She believes that because he told her he was going to do it.
He told me plenty of times that he was going to kill her and that he was going to come get his baby. He told me that over and over.
Akil says her 6-year-old granddaughter spent the night at her house Thursday night. The child's mother, Maria Juan, was supposed to take her to school Friday morning. Akil says she knew something was wrong when the child's father showed up.
I talked to her. I came and got the baby late last night, about 8. She texted me about 11, asked me where we were asleep, and I said yes. And this morning, she was supposed to come pick her up for school, and she didn't, but the baby's father came in her truck, and I knew something was wrong because she does not let him drive a truck, and she has nothing to do with him.
That's when Akil called the Birmingham police to report her daughter missing.
Earlier this morning, BPD Special Victims Unit detectives launched a missing persons investigation on a 27-year-old named Maria Juan.
When Akil had not heard from her daughter or the police within a few hours of reporting her missing, she stopped by her daughter's home in Hillside Apartments.
I had to call them 3 and 4 times. They never showed up. And then I came and opened the door and went in, and she was lying on the floor.
Birmingham police has detained a man for questioning, but he has not been charged as a suspect in this case. They have also not confirmed if the man was the father of Juan's children. Birmingham police have also not identified Maria Juan as the victim of the homicide today, but her mother, who we spoke to earlier today, has. We're going to continue to bring you updates on this case as Birmingham police continues their investigation. Live in Birmingham, Zoe Blair, WVTM 13.
There you go. The victim's family were the ones who sort of made it happen. They knew what her routine would be like. They knew if she didn't reply, it's very odd. And they were able to get the police to go around there and check it out. Unfortunately, finding her deceased remains in the property. And then they said, hey, go look at this guy. This guy might be the one responsible. And it ended up being he's been detained, but no charges as of yet. Hold on. There's another news site, ABC. Hey, come on, stop that. There we go. A 27-year-old was found dead in a Birmingham apartment Friday, September 20. BPD officers responded to the Hillside apartment complex in the 1500 block of 17th South. I'm so used to putting the direction after the number because of American streets. 17th Street South. And then it says around 3:30 p.m. to perform that welfare check in a missing person investigation. They just said a person of interest has been detained and is in the process of being interviewed. That person is believed to be Juan's romantic partner. They just said they're waiting on an autopsy to come back to determine if it is her, two, how she died. And I think there was a photo here of her too. Let's have a look.
And we start with breaking news out of Birmingham. Birmingham police believe a missing person, if he was.
Yeah, I'm going to scrub through this so hopefully we can see a photo of her.
Was reported
No.
family scene.
Door.
That's her mom. No, okay, no photo? Weird. I saw one listed, and that's what I was trying to show you, but let me try again. Okay, let me try this. Open image in new tab. There we go. So this is the victim here. This is Miss Juan, and she's the lady they found deceased inside the apartment, but I can't find a photo of her romantic partner, the man who was arrested. Can't see anything. Give me a second. Try one more place. Try one other place. No, not Garcia's. That's someone else. No, I don't see anything else related to her or just a OnlyFans model. There's an OnlyFans model with a similar name. That's it. Maria says, hello. Hi. Gila says, please hit the like button. Yes, please. I would appreciate it. Okay, there's your title story. I wanted to bring that to you because I feel like sometimes these smaller regional type murders tend to go under the radar. We don't talk about them, and they don't make many of the shows on YouTube. So I like to bring them up because they're people too, not just the people who make it to national media. These people also died in horrific circumstances and deserve to have their story told. So it says here, anything interesting? No, not really. Nothing that we've already known. If I find out who that guy is, I will let you know. But right now, I don't know who it is. Just her romantic partner. That's it. Hey Blaze, how are you? Rachel, good to see you. DJ, happy to have you here. I'm not sure what's going on with my YouTube, but I was trying to give away some memberships before the show, and it still won't let me. It just spins like that. It just does that loading thing over and over and over again and never actually loads. So I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. So this story got sent in to me. I don't know a ton about it, except for the article the person gave to me, but they wanted me to show you. So I'm just going to line this up. Hold on, let me see. Okay. So sent in from my friend. We had a couple of stories come in. It was Rachel. Rachel sent this in. And this man is missing. He's 22 years old. He is a hiker and he is in the Yellowstone National Park, remote southeast corner, and is missing after trying to climb Eagle Peak on Tuesday. Tuesday? It's ages ago. The park said they released this in a statement on Sunday afternoon, so today. They said search and rescue teams from Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks and Wyoming Park and Teton counties are searching for Austin King, who called friends and family from the summit of Eagle Peak, but hasn't been heard from since. He's about 6 foot tall, weighs 160 pounds, has brown hair, hazel eyes, and is wearing sunglasses, has a black sweatshirt and gray pants. Rescue teams are searching in the vicinity of Eagle Peak and Eagle Pass Mountain Creek Trail and Eagle Creek Trailhead on the Shoshone National Forest west of Cody. King was working in Yellowstone as a concession employee. He was reported overdue at the Yellowstone Interagency Communication Center after failing to arrive for his boat pickup near Yellowstone Lake's southeast arm on Friday afternoon. King was on a 7-day hiking adventure in an area known as the Thoroughfare and was one of the most remote regions in the lower 48 states. He described fog, rain, sleet, hail, and windy conditions on the summit. More than 20 ground searchers, 2 helicopters, unmanned air systems, or drones, and a search dog were looking for King near Eagle Peak. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Yellowstone Interagency Communication Center at 307-344-2643. I have no idea where this is, so I'm going to try find it for you. Eagle Peak. No. All right, let's see if I can find a map of it. Okay, is this it? Eagle Peak Rest? Eagle Rest Peak? No, that doesn't sound right. No. Eagle Peak. All right, let me see if I can get it from this designation. Whoa, I hope that isn't the actual place. Hold on. Yeah, oh my god, it is. So, it's up here. This is Eagle Peak. I don't know where the summit is, but this is where my little pointer tells me to go. I don't know how far up it goes. Let's have a look. Is that the peak? Is that this bit here? I don't know, but if you scroll out, it's pretty brutal. Look at the snow. It's pretty treacherous conditions too. That looks like a very slim edge here. That if you slipped, you'd be in a lot of trouble. Wow, it's very desolate, isn't it? Not much around. Like, so they said, yeah. So this is the trailhead over here. Must be Mountain Creek Trail Road, Eagle Pass. So they're looking in this area for him. Is that the trailhead? I'm guessing it must be, or it could be over here. No, that goes south. Either way, you can just see what this place looks like. It doesn't get better the further north you go. It sort of gets worse. You got even bigger mountains. Although there's a place up here called Nipple. Okay. But there's the Shoshone Lodge and Guest Ranch down there. And they said it was in the southwest, southeast region. Hold on. I've lost me page. Where is it? Now I've lost our original story. Good work, Ping. Marion County, nope. Oh yeah, here. Eagle Peak, Eagle Pass, Mountain Creek Trail. Okay, yeah, we were just there. So the Eagle Creek Mountain Pass Trail is here. This is Mountain Creek Trail right there. So he's somewhere between this road here and somewhere between there and here. So between these 2 points, he could be, I don't know what the hiking route is, but there's this area and then over here. They said there was something that was supposed to pick him up. A boat? It can't be a boat. What did they say was going to pick him up? They said he's missing, hasn't been heard from. They're searching in the area. Yeah, arrived for his boat pickup near the Yellowstone Lake Southeast Arm on Friday afternoon. Yellowstone Lake. Oh, here. There is lake. Okay, so was he hiking back down along here? Okay, so not that way towards the creek trail. He was due over here somewhere. Yellowstone Lake. Geez, it's not. The conditions out here are insane. Look at this. Look at the peaks and everything. I mean, that's some hard terrain to search. So this young man is missing around here somewhere. I don't know if he hiked from the lake up onto here or he went from the trail road this way and then planned to go over Eagle Peak and then down into Yellowstone Lake and be picked up. I don't know if that's what he was doing or it doesn't say, but some helly conditions out there. Not a good place to be missing for like 5 days. Thanks, I found it. Rachel says it looks very rough terrain. It'd be very hard terrain to search. Blaze Fairchild says, my husband and I climbed when we were young, but I'm very happy none of our 3 sons climb, only hiking. Thank goodness. I would worry like crazy. I know, right? It's fun, but dangerous. DJ says, were there any UFOs during that time? I don't know. I'm going to contact the people who wear the tinfoil hats. They're called the Tinfoil Hat Brigade. They may know. I will see if I can get them on the show for you, DJ. Nanalana says, I'm late hearing the story about him. Was he hiking alone? It seems like he was. I don't hear anything that he was with other people or anything like that. Let's zoom out for people so it's not white. Where's the view of this? And then the lake. See, even I get lost and I'm on a map. And this dude's walking in it. There's the lake. There we go. Okay, let me search his name. What's his name? Mr. King. Mr. King. Austin King. All right, 4 hours ago. From Idaho News. Let's have a look. Authorities searching for man in Yellowstone Park who's been missing since Tuesday. It's a long time to be missing. I hope he has the supplies to be able to do it. They said his last known location was at the summit of Eagle Peak in the park's southeast corner. So he was there. Here. Says on Friday afternoon, he failed to arrive for his boat pickup near the Yellowstone Lake southeast arm. So southeast. So in that corner. Yep. So he was supposed to be picked up in that corner. They described all sorts of conditions: fog, rain, sleet, hail, and windy conditions. And they said there's about 20 ground searchers looking for him, 2 helicopters, drones, a search dog, and they're looking around Eagle Peak. They said anyone traveling in the backcountry near Eagle Peak since September 14 may have seen King. If you have seen him or know where he might be, call the Yellowstone Interagency Communication Center and report it. But there's some more photos of him. He has tattoos and he wears glasses, according to the pamphlet. What was his route? He was dropped off at Terrace Point by boat. Oh, that's over there. Okay. Terrace Point. Can we see that on the map? Plover Point, Promontory Point. I can't see that particular one. Unless I'm blind, which is a possibility. I don't see that particular point. But it just could mean it's just not on the map. There's a southwest, southeast, trail point. I don't see his particular drop-off point, but there's Lake Butler or Lake Butt or Butte. No, I don't see his particular one, but that's okay. They said the southeast, so it's like north-south, and then it's east-west. So he should be over here, southeastern arm here. Somewhere over here, they said. What'd they say? Plover Point. On Monday, Terrence Point. Okay, no, maybe we did see that. Ping. It's right there in the map, right in front of you. What are you doing? So he was dropped off here. Right there. He would have got onto the trail and then walked through. Where does this go? Down through here. And then does this lead to the summit? Yes. It could. You'd have to hike all the way up over probably up here, around here, and then down through here. Or up through here. So he came from this side. Okay. There is a trail right there, though. So he probably got dropped off, walked up through, what's this one called? Waterton Valley, And then Thoroughfare Trail, that was on the original article. Okay. So this is one of the locations where he was supposed to be. It's a big search area though. Trail Creek Trail, and then Thoroughfare Trail. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, let me show you on the map. So this is Terrence Point here. This is where he was dropped off, apparently. You can take this trail here. There's Thoroughfare that they said in the article, and you can follow this all the way through. You can follow it all the way down, and then it splits coming up here. You can go south on Waterton or keep going on Thoroughfare. And then you keep going up. This one sort of goes south for a bit. So I don't know if you would come down here and then go north. That's Beaverton Meadow. He was trying to get over here, Eagle Peak. Even from that distance from there to over here, it's a hell of a travel. I don't know if I would do it. It's a bit of a hike, right? Very tough conditions. Very tough. Yeah, sorry, I turned it back. 500 miles from you? Okay. Hey, anyone lost, we hope that they get home. But that is, I hope they can find him. That is some pretty bad conditions. So I don't know how you get up here. If the trails all go south, is there any north-facing trails? You can go up here. Ah, okay. So you come through here. Wait, let's go back. You go through Terrence Point, come down south. You follow all this all the way down, and it sort of curves around here. You go up through here, and you keep going, and then you make it up to the summit. Eagle Pass right here. Okay, so you sort of go around. Well, that's what it looks like on the map. Okay, so Eagle Pass right there. That's where he was seen. He called family, said they saw sleet and hail and rain. So it's a bit of a hike. You go all the way back down. So they've got a big search area because of the way the trail is. You have to go all the way through down here, come back around, and then go back to the lake up through here. Oops. Go, see, even I get lost. And then go up, make it back to his point, up here, back to Terrence Point. So he's trying to do that over about 5 days. Marjorie. Hey, Marjorie. Yeah, me too. I hope they find him. Yeah, let me zoom out. There's Terrence, and there's Eagle Pass. So you can see from there to there. But you actually have to go sort of down and around and come up through the south. And so you sort of start on the west here and head south, and then go north and get up through Eagle Point. Damn, that is not a cool place to be stuck. Even though it seems like a fun hike. Like, look at the terrain. Look at all these trees, like steep angles. Pray to God he's okay and hunkered down somewhere and not fallen or hurt himself. I don't want that for anyone. All right. Let's check out if the Facebook has an update for him. No, their last post was about 5 hours ago. They said, heads up, active search and rescue in remote southeast corner of Yellowstone National Park. Public assistance is required. They said he was last heard from Tuesday, September 17th. That's about 5 days ago. And they say a search and rescue effort began at first light on Saturday morning. That was yesterday. That involved an aerial reconnaissance and ground search operations in the high mountain areas of Eagle Peak and surrounding areas including Yellowstone Lake, Rescuers discovered King's Camp and personal effects Saturday evening in the Upper Howell Creek area. We saw that. That's going up the, yes, that's here, Howell Creek. So he must have been very close to the summit. The summit's up here, or like the top of it is just there. Howell Creek's just down here. So they found a campsite down here. It sounds like he was making his way back. He was probably hiked for a day, got to this point, set up camp for the night. But where did he go? There's not too many places around here. Like, there's some valleys and stuff, but concerning, very concerning. All right, let's go back. What else does it say? Today, more than 20 ground searchers and 2 helicopters, drones, and a search dog were focusing on efforts near Eagle Peak. Anyone traveling in the backcountry may have seen him. They will provide more information when it is available. There's a good photo of him. I don't know, is it? Sorry, I've never been there. Let's see. Southwest. Okay. Oh, 90 degrees. Well, they were talking snow and sleet in this particular location. Very cold, I would say, still at this point in time. So let's have a look. There's Howell Creek. That sort of goes all the way through, though. It differs off here. And there's a campsite right here. You can see campsite. So you can come down here and camp on your way up to the peak. So you would come up through there, go through here, and then make it to your final destination up here. But you probably wouldn't camp up here. Let's go back down. Where's the next campsite? So we go down, either down here maybe, or let's go further down. Could be here too. Probably this one. Howell Creek 6D6 is another camp area. And then you could go to, what's the next one? Upper Mountain is the third one. Upper Mountain Creek 6D5, another small camping area. And there's Mountain Creek right next to it. So there are some little waterways up the mountain. There you go. I wish them all the luck. You know, stuck hikers are very frightening. Yeah, Grand Teton was mentioned in the Gabby Petito case for something. Okay, there's that. If I get any more information from their Facebook, they are running a Facebook through Yellowstone National Park, and they are doing some updates. This was 5 hours ago. So no more right now. Let's have a look. Yeah, don't see any, just people hoping that he's found safe and located. There we go. He's a young man, which means he's probably in good physical condition. Hopefully he hasn't fallen or been attacked by a bear. And hopefully he just needs a hand to get back to civilization and, some medical care. Hopefully he's not in grave danger. But 5 days is a long time to be missing. It really is. Especially when you're supposed to be just going on a trail. Like the trail's clearly marked. There's campsites along the way for you to camp in, and it's a fairly well-known place. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. I'm going to keep that on my thing. If I see more updates, I will let you know. Okay. Da, 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 da. All right, this one. Yes.
We continue to learn more about the 7-year-old boy who was shot and critically injured in Burlington. Today, we learned the boy's identity. Mason Jenkins. His family shared this photo with us. Investigators say 2 people were arguing at Beaumont Apartments when shots rang out. One of the bullets hit Mason in the upper body. Officers arrested the 2 men tied to this shooting. WFMY News 2's Giselle Thomas talked to community members who want change.
Prayers and a call to action to stop gun violence. That's what some community members in Burlington say they want after 7-year-old Mason Jenkins was hit by a stray bullet Thursday night. Burlington police say the child is in critical condition and put 2 people involved in the shooting in jail.
It just broke my heart because that's somebody's child.
This is a housing for people with kids. So for some gunfire to come into play around these kids, it was terrible. It was terrible.
One of those kids, 7-year-old Mason Jenkins, wasn't safe in his own neighborhood. Burlington police say they were called to Beaumont Avenue Apartments Thursday night. When they got to scene, officers found Mason shot. They say he was not a target, but a victim of a stray bullet. He's now spending another night in the hospital.
It is definitely an impact to the community. So the only thing I could really say to anyone is put yourself in Mason's parents' place. What if this would have been your child?
Police say the 7-year-old was hit in his upper body and airlifted to the hospital. The community hosted a prayer circle to uplift the child's family. Kathy Dixon is a local minister in the area. She says she encouraged the family through faith.
I got to meet his little sister. And, I put my arms around and told her to pray for her brother Mason. And I taught her a prayer to pray for him, that God would touch him and heal him and deliver him and bring him out.
Police arrested 18-year-old Tremaine Armstrong and charged him with attempted murder. 21-year-old Camonte Crosby is also in custody and charged as an accessory in the shooting. Some say it was a prayer answered.
I said, God, they done caught him already. And see, that's the power of prayer. Oh, glory be to God. Hallelujah. God will do it.
This is an ongoing investigation. I am in communication with Mason's dad, and we're hoping to get an update on how he's doing soon.
It says here, though, a 7-year-old hit by a stray bullet in Burlington on Thursday has died, according to a family member. The Burlington Police Department issued the following statement on the shooting. On Thursday night, a 7-year-old little boy sitting outside his apartment was senselessly shot as a bystander. Today, we learned that his injuries were too severe to survive, and he died this morning. Our deepest sympathies are with the family and everyone affected by this act of violence. We share the heartbreak of this news along with our community. As your police department, we are committed to holding those responsible for this crime accountable, and the investigation to gather every available fact is ongoing. Our community needs every person who saw what happened to step forward, do what's right, and contact the police department. Our hearts are with the family, and we promise to do everything in our power to ensure that justice is served. The Burlington community is asking for prayers and a call to action to stop gun violence. A community organizer said there may be a vigil or a gathering to honor the child's life on Sunday evening. The boy was identified by family as 7-year-old Mason Jenkins. Police said he was in critical condition but has now passed away. WFMY News 2 heard from the family Sunday morning, who said he passed away around 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. Burlington police said they first got a call about a dispute and a single gunshot at the Beaumont Avenue Apartments. This is a housing for people with children, and they're saying this is pretty terrible. While on the scene, officers found out a child was shot. Police stressed the child was not a target, but a victim of a stray bullet. They said it definitely has an impact to the community. Police said the 7-year-old was hit in the upper body and airlifted to hospital. After hearing the news, community members hosted a prayer circle to uplift the child's family. Kathy Dixon is a local minister in the area. She helped encourage the family through faith. She said, I got to meet his little sister. I put my arms around and told her to pray for her brother. I taught her a prayer that God would touch him and heal him and deliver him. and bring him out. Well, unfortunately, his injuries were too severe. It's very sad. And don't think we ever want to hear about little kids being, shot by stray bullets. It's unnecessary and it really shouldn't happen. Take your disputes somewhere else and fire your guns elsewhere, away from families and children. Let me see if I can find a nice little photo of him. Mason Jenkins. All right, let me see. They had a couple in the video. Yeah. There's a photo of him. You can see on your screen. Angela says that would break a kid's faith in God. I know, right? The fact that the lady told her that he would survive if she prayed to God. Not great.
Weak body. Officers arrested the 2 men tied to this shooting. WFMY News.
There's another photo of him with his sister. There you go. Just a little kid, man. Had no idea. Probably just sitting out the front playing with his friends and then copped a bullet to the chest. I mean, he stood no chance. I mean, even some adults don't survive that type of injury, let alone like a little kid. Very, very awful. I used to see these type of I don't know, public service announcements or comedy slash real life drama TV shows from the USA when I was a kid. And I always used to see the story of a stray bullet killing one of the characters in the show. I thought we were past all that, but apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently we are not. Brenda, hey Brenda, how are you? Good to see you. Juniper, it was good to see you too tonight, my friend. Hoping for more rain. Okay. I hope it rains for you, Nanalana. Yes, hello to everyone. Hi, Diane. How are you? Good to see you. Catatonic. Great to have you. Moonlight View. Angela's here. Rachel made it. Who else? Marjorie's here. Hey, Marjorie. Candy for you. Blaze made it. Good to see you all. Laura T's here too. Hey, Laura T. Siana's even here. Hey, Siana. Shock made it as well. Who else? Kiki's here too. Hey, Kiki. Who else did we miss? My friend Peekaboo Cockatiel. Extremely dry where you are. I hope you get some good rain as it starts to go into autumn or fall, as you call it. So you get some more rainy days, water, and less dry weather. That would be good. Terrible. Coming from a country that was in drought for almost a decade, I can tell you I know the real life side effects of drought. Where I live in Melbourne, they used to have a monitor, on like billboards, and it would say, our dam levels are down to 2%. Conserve water. Only take 5-minute showers or 2-minute showers or whatever. We've got to conserve water. We only have 2% of water. And that went on for years and years. And we all had to be very careful. No one could wash their car or, wash their house or whatever. Water the plants and things like that. You could only do it like after 7 p.m. at night to conserve water so it wouldn't dry off. And it was like that for years down here. Luckily, we've had a bunch of La Nina type weather in the last decade, and it's filled up the dams a lot more. But hey, you're just one El Nino away from another drought. So Catatonic says it's hot in Brisbane already. Well, that's what you get for living in Brisbane. It's always hot. It's hot in winter. In winter, it's like 25. So, but yes, you're gonna start getting thunderstorms in the next month or so. Catatonic. You're gonna get those big supercells that come in over the October, November. Wow. Nanalana. Is Danny? He was here earlier. He was here earlier, wasn't he? Oh, Maria's here. Hey, Maria. And my friend Juniper and Penguin. Yeah, Mr. Danny's, he was here. There you go. He even said hi to you. That's a Scottish summer. You know, nothing makes me cackle and laugh like a drain more than when you get a British heat warning. It makes me absolutely like roll around on the ground laughing. They're all like, there's a level 2 heat warning for tomorrow across London and greater metropolitan areas of England. They're like, tomorrow, be careful. It will be 22 degrees. Do not go outside. Stay home if you can. Do not be like going to work. You cannot walk around the block. Drink plenty of water because tomorrow is the start of a 22-degree heat wave. It just, I can't, I find it so funny. And I'm just like, these English people, what are you talking about? 22-degree heat wave. They're like, this is the most dangerous threat to England all year. This will be the most severe heat wave we've seen in a decade. It may even reach 23 degrees. That might be a new record. We may have to keep an eye on it. Do not head outside. You may burn to death. Yeah, I know. 22 degrees is pretty cool. Australians are like, it's 110 F. It's like 43 degrees. It's all good. Angela says it's a different heat. I lived in Germany. It was over 30 all the time and fine, but it seems hotter here. Brenda says, how's the cat stories? I've not heard one in a while. Well, we sort of ran out of pets. We ran out of pets, so we can't do the stories unless people send in stories for Reby to write. So no one kept sending them in, so we stopped doing it. Catatonic says, although when I was in London years ago, it was a heat wave. That's right. Hey, Natasha, how are you? That kind of thing makes me laugh. I'm always like, you funny English people. You and your heat warnings. They're like, sit down and have a glass of water. Make sure you have 3 glasses of water per day. Otherwise, you may become dehydrated. It's like, oh my God, where can I get water? Do they even sell that here? It's a foreign substance. We only have beer. Where do we find water? Brenda says that is sad. Yeah. Hey, we can only do what we can with people's input. So we did about 20 of them or something, or 15 of them, and then I don't know, people didn't want to do it anymore. So that's how it is, yo.
We
Hey, what's
continue
going on
to learn
here?
more about this
Shh. All right. All right. Let's do another story. Ah, yes, I want to do this one. Yes. Let's go to Okala. Oh, well, I just call it Marion County. Let's go to Marion County in Florida. So I'm not going to pronounce her name, but her name is Leslie. Or his name is Leslie. Yes, his name. Sorry, it can be a boy or girl name. Oh, guys, hold on. Thanks, Rory. Yeah, Rory was like trying to puke on Muffin's head. I'm just keeping an eye on her because he's sleeping on the bottom of the couch, wrapped up in a blanket, and she's sleeping on the top of the couch on the back, and she tried to puke over the edge of it and get her brother. They're a bit weird, those two. I just wanted to see if she did or not because I didn't want him to be covered in cat puke. Nanalana says, "What is 22C? 22C would be like 71 Fahrenheit, 71 degrees Fahrenheit." All right, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to check something. Okay, about 71. Oh, I think it's for 20. Yeah, 22 equals 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's get to the story we're going to talk about. Marion County. So, this is a pretty disturbing story. It says here, a Marion County Sheriff's Office deputy was charged Friday with manslaughter in the shooting death of his live-in girlfriend. His name is Leslie Dale. He's 32, was transported to the county jail where he's being held on no bond. According to his arrest report, written by Okala Police Department Detective Kyle Kern, officers were called about a shooting late Thursday night in the 300 block of Southeast 32nd Avenue in Okala. He told dispatchers he had shot his girlfriend and that it was an accidental discharge. At the location, officers entered the residence and saw him standing behind a woman. She was seated while holding her head. The woman was identified as Paulina Wright, 25. Wright had been shot once in the head, according to authorities. Officer Michael Coughlin removed the deputy from the scene. Police officers said a Glock 9mm handgun was found on Wright's lap and that there was a pistol-style rifle on the kitchen table. Officials said the suspect told Officer Hagan Sampson and Sergeant Mike Dezio that Wright was shot with the rifle. Wow, what the hell? How is that an accidental discharge? He told police he was cleaning the guns and the couple were pointing them at each other. The officer asked the deputy if it was during the cleaning process and he replied, "She was like, I want you to teach me how to use them. I want you to teach me how to use them. Okay, we will. We were pointing them at each other and the gun went off." According to the report, the officer asked him if he was the one holding the rifle at the time, and he said yes. The officer stopped asking questions and the suspect told the officer, "I know this looks really bad. I told her I did not want this to happen. I did want to train her. I did not want to train her in the effing house like this." Okay. He was taken to the OPD for an interview while a search warrant for his residence was drafted. In his first interview with Kern, he said he and Wright ate dinner at a Mexican restaurant and drank margaritas. He said they went back to the residence between 8 and 8:30 p.m. and noticed cleaning supplies had been delivered. Wright then asked about the guns. The deputy said they went inside while cleaning the weapons. He gave the woman some training. He said they were pointing the firearms at each other, and he then told the detective he knew what he was doing was wrong. During one scenario, he said he pointed the rifle at Wright, and when he pulled the trigger, a round came out and hit the woman in the head. Realizing she'd been shot, he said he held his girlfriend until first responders arrived. I'm going to see if I can find more about this because I want to find Leslie Dale Beaulieu or Beaulieu. Let's have a look. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Okay, no, that's not right. It's really weird. There's like no newspapers covering it at all. Okay, maybe this one?
County Sheriff's deputy was arrested by officers this morning. They say he shot and killed his girlfriend last night.
TV 20's Emma DeLamo tells us what led up to the fatal shooting and why alcohol could be a factor.
One fewer deputy works at the Marion County Sheriff's Office, now facing a manslaughter charge after Okala police officers say he killed his girlfriend. They arrested Leslie Bolio, who had worked with the Sheriff's Office for 8 years, even receiving an award in 2017 for saving a boy's life. Police identified the victim as 25-year-old Paulina Wright.
It's an unfortunate situation, and I feel for him because he's obviously going through something. Killing his girlfriend is one thing, and then getting fired is another thing.
According to his arrest report, Bolio called officers after accidentally shooting Wright in the forehead, telling them, quote, "I know this looks really bad." Bolio admitted the couple drank margaritas at Los Magueyes Mexican restaurant in Okala, then went home to clean his firearms, accidentally shooting her while dry firing the weapons.
And if he got awards before for being, providing excellent service and providing service to the community, all of that has to be taken into consideration before making a decision that's going to affect somebody's life and family for the rest of their lives.
Bolio told officers he knew pointing the rifle at her was wrong since he works in law enforcement. They say the evidence at his home in southeast Ocala matched his story, finding a 9mm handgun and rifle on scene. OPD leaders say they are working alongside the state attorney's office during this investigation. In Ocala, Emma DeLamo, TV 20 News.
There just was no quick fix. A truck rolled.
So what do you think? Yeah, that would be my first question, Andrew. How many margaritas? Because it matters. How pissed were you? How many drinks had you had? Let me see if I can find out. Okay. It does not say how many drinks they had at the restaurant, but I can tell you that he conducted a second interview with law enforcement, and in his second interview, he said he took the rifle apart and showed Wright how to clean the weapon. Putting the parts back together, he said he gave the gun to Wright to dry fire it. When she was finished, he put a magazine in it and was planning to put it away. Wright then took a 9mm Glock handgun that he said was loaded. He took the Glock from her to clear the weapon and then made her dry fire the weapon. He said he took the rifle and dry fired it once. He did the same thing a second time and the gun went off. Officials said he forgot the gun was loaded. He told the detective he did not chamber a round. He said he held Wright until officials arrived. He said Wright had done similar types of training in the past but described his behavior as sloppy. Isn't like the first thing they teach you in weapons training, even as a law enforcement personnel, is that you don't point it at something you're not willing to kill. So don't be pointing that gun at things that you're not willing to shoot. So that tells me that you were willing to shoot your partner. Doesn't matter if you thought it was loaded or not. You have more training than the average person. Therefore, you should be held more accountable because you know what happens. You've seen the bad parts of life through your job. They have to hold you to a higher standard because you carry a firearm every single day for work. Doesn't matter if you're on the clock, off the clock, doing work, not doing work, it doesn't matter because you've had far more training than the average person around firearm safety, being that you and every other cop that you worked with has a gun. So, I mean, his excuses don't really add up because this might be different if it was some guy and his girlfriend in a house and they were new to weapons or something and you'd be like, wow, what a tragic accident, but they were dumb. You know everything. You have to do you know how much training they have to go through to be a police officer or a sheriff? Quite a bit with firearms. So something here doesn't sound right. It's just not, something's not meeting up. I don't know if it was deliberate or she was being a pain in the ass, so he decided to shoot her. I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, we actually talked about it last night. We talked about Dog and his $100,000 reward for information and Sebastian last night. Blaze says, who cleans their guns after drinking? Isn't that part of it too? So not only did you point it at someone and fired a gun, you were doing it while intoxicated from drinking with dinner. So all sorts of safety things out the window, apparently. We don't even have very many civilian firearms here, but even I know that you're not supposed to do that. And I'm the Australian. We have like some of the toughest gun laws in the world, and even I know you're not allowed to do that. They just put up a reward for $100,000. They have a phone number you can call. They haven't given any terms or conditions as to how to claim that money. They just said information that leads to Sebastian. So he did an interview. If you want to watch some of it, we did play it last night. So if that is something you're interested in, we did play it on last night's show. That was, yeah, we did do that. All right. Let me see if I can find anything else about this guy and his apparent love of shooting his girlfriend. Let's see. Leslie Dale Bolio, or whatever his name is. It's really strange. Hold on. I might have to search something else, because when you search his name, nothing comes up. Okay, maybe that. Okay, that was better.
County Sheriff's deputy was arrested by officers this morning. They say he shot and killed his girlfriend last night.
TV 20's Emma DeLamo tells us what led up to the fatal shooting and why alcohol could be a factor.
One fewer deputy works at the Marion County Sheriff's Office, now facing a manslaughter charge after Okala police officers say he killed his girlfriend. They arrested Leslie Bolio, who had worked with the Sheriff's Office for 8 years, even receiving an award in 2017 for saving a boy's life. Police identified the victim as 25-year-old Paulina Wright.
It's an unfortunate situation, and I feel for him because he's obviously going.
Is that the same video from before? Sorry. There's so like few sites doing it. Okay. I was like, I've seen that woman before. Let's see. Anything here? Nope. New York Times even did an article. All right, let me check here. Let's go to WESH. They normally have some good information.
In Marion County, a former sheriff's deputy has been arrested accused of killing his girlfriend.
The sheriff terminated the 8-year deputy with his office after learning that he's now facing a manslaughter charge. West 2's Justin Schecker is outside the Marion County Jail with details on how it happened.
The 911 call came in before 11 p.m. on Thursday night. Now, former Marion County Sheriff's Deputy Leslie Boilo told dispatch he accidentally shot his girlfriend. When Okala police officers arrived at the home, they found the victim, 25-year-old Paulina Wright, had been shot once in the head. A statement from Sheriff Billy Wood says his agency is heartbroken for the family and friends of the victim. He goes on to say, the tragic actions of just one are felt through the entire law enforcement community. The Okala Police Department has the support of my office as they continue to finish their investigation of this tragic incident. The arrest report provides more details on the deadly shooting that led to Boilo's termination. Boilo told the Okala police detective both he and his girlfriend had been drinking during dinner at a restaurant. He says they returned home and began cleaning 2 guns, a rifle and a handgun. In the police report, the former deputy admits to holding the rifle when the fatal shot was fired. Boilo also told the detective, quote, she was like, I want you to teach me how to use them. He also said, I know this looks really bad. I told her I did not want this to happen, and I did not want to train her in the expletive house like this. Police say their search for evidence in the home backs up the terminated deputy's story that this was a horrible accident. So now the former Marion County Sheriff's Deputy Leslie Boileau is locked up in the county jail behind me. He's being held without bond until his first court appearance. Reporting in Marion County, I'm Justin Shecker, WESH 2 News.
There we go. Back. Andrew says SF Investigates was on Queen Bee yesterday. I don't know what that is, but good for him. Can you find the YouTube with dog if you yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you are feeling better. Nanalana says on a YouTube video he said he talked to Chris Proudfoot and Chris said to him, "You'll never find Sebastian." Dog went on to say he believes Sebastian is deceased now. No way. That is brand new information. I am shocked. Shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Andrew says that one guy, Nick, is on parole. Okay. That's alright. I don't deal with him. I don't know anything about him. But he's on parole. I don't know what for. Could have been on parole for stealing gummy bears. Is that what he's on parole for? Could be. Because I don't know. I don't know who he is. I see him on Twitter every now and then. Every now and then I'm looking up a case or something and I'll come across his Twitter. But that's about it. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So I will keep that guy in my little alerts for you. I think that is bizarre. I think there's something else there that we'll find out later. I don't think this was an accident. I think we'll find out later that his girlfriend was upsetting him and he decided to fix the problem. Let's hold on. I had another story. Where is it? Here, actually. According to another news source, a former Marion County Sheriff's Office deputy charged with the shooting death of his living girlfriend made his first appearance in front of a judge on Saturday morning. Leslie was handcuffed and wearing a yellow jumpsuit jail uniform inside the county jail. He was arrested on Friday and he has no bond. They said that a circuit judge presided over the hearing. The judge told him that his attorney that she found probable cause for his arrest. They then asked the judge for a reasonable bond, telling her his client is not a flight risk and is not going anywhere, and that he lives in Marion County, has been a public servant, and mentioned the incident was a tragic accident. The lawyer asked for a $25,000 bond and wanted him to be able to be released to be able to work with him and his attorney. The prosecution argued that the former deputy has no... Oh, no. Yes. The prosecution said they argued he has no criminal history, though they're concerned for the community's safety and asked if the judge is going to set a bond. It should be no more than $50,000. Okay. The defense objected, saying there is no threat to the community, and again asked for a $25,000 bond. After listening to both sides, the judge set a bond at $30,000, and that if he posts bond, he cannot have any weapons or guns and cannot have any contact with the victim's family. His next court date, which is an arraignment, is in late October. So there is your update. He did get a bond, 30 grand in bond, and we'll see. On the AP, Luis Armando Albino. Let's have a look. Luis. Oh, yes. Okay. I think someone sent this to me earlier. Was it you, Amy? I think Amy sent this. Did they just play the Niners at the start? They did. There we go. Look, the 49ers. Disappointing.
At 10, an Oakland woman is celebrating tonight after decades of perseverance, helped her family reunite with her uncle, who was abducted from a West Oakland park in 1951.
Luis Armando Albina was just 6 years old when he was taken while at the park with his brother Roger. He remained missing despite the efforts of Oakland police and the FBI. His niece, Alita Aliquin, was determined to find him and got a big break after taking a DNA test online and matching with a man on the East Coast.
My daughter found a lot of pictures of this man, and we started comparing them, and we saw the resemblance that was so strong, how much he looked like my other uncles. And then there was one picture that he really, really looked like my grandmother. That one kind of like gave me chills. And I said, no, there's something here.
This is a photo from 1940 of her uncle Luis and his father. Alita continued to search online, convinced she had a lead. She took that information to OPD, who then took it to the FBI. They found the man, and after comparing his DNA to Alita's mother, and Roger confirmed it was Luis, they set up a meeting in June.
It was just hugs and tears. Lots of hugs and tears. He hugged me really tight. And he said, thank you for finding me. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek. Yeah.
That's a long time to be missing. And the fact that one of those DNA kits helped solve a family mystery and a crime is pretty brutal. I mean, the world gets smaller and smaller with the invention of the different things we have, mobile phones, the internet, DNA kits, things that were impossible 25 years ago are now very much a reality and very cost affordable. They're not very expensive, and they can provide some very interesting results for people, including stuff like this.
It was nice.
Alita told me Luis visited again in July and spent time with his brother Roger. They were able to share stories of how they remembered that day in 1951, how they both served in the military and made up for lost time. Roger died in August. Alita also said her grandmother, Luis's mother, always held out hope that he was alive and okay. That woman passed in 2005, but Alita said she is smiling from above.
I think she's happy. I mean, I honestly think she was there guiding me too. It's just the way everything worked out. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's unbelievable. I believe that she was there guiding me. I do.
Alita said whoever abducted Luis has long since passed, and some questions still remain. She continues to stay in touch with her uncle, and they are planning an annual visit to celebrate them finding their way back to each other.
How sad to hear that some of the people that died, like they never got to find out that person was still alive after being abducted. It's pretty crazy. Fossan's mom says, I wonder if he knew he wasn't a bio kid from the parents who had him. Maybe he always knew he was different. Rachel says, I haven't done one of those DNA tests yet, but have thought about it. Okay, maybe you should. Marjorie says, I'm an adoptee who found all my bio family via DNA testing in 2019. I am too. I haven't done it yet, but it's something I may do. I may look into it because I would like to know more about my background. Can't even tell you what country I'm from, except for Australia, but I can't tell you my nationality or anything. Don't know. All right. That's a really cool story. I like when we get some happy stories, not sad stories. All right, hold on. We did that one. Okay. We did that. We talked about this sort of the other night about like what's the biggest issue facing young males, and it's sextortion cases actually. And it's not young girls that are the biggest victim, it's young men. So let's play this.
A national safety group reporting a shift in victims of sextortion. Young males now the most frequent target, and Instagram the most popular platform for connecting with children. The I-Team's Cynthia Gould with more right now on that growing threat. Cynthia?
Brenda, first, what is sextortion? Predators manipulate a victim into sharing explicit photos, then threaten to expose them unless demands are met. The warning from Alabama U.S. Attorney Prim Escalona.
It can happen in any family to any child. We see victims as young as 8, and they range about 8 years old to about 17. A lot of them are in that early teen, 12, 13, 14-year-old range.
One recent case in July, University of Alabama student Aiden Yeager of Kentucky sentenced to 25 years in prison for the sexual exploitation of minors. 19 victims across multiple states.
This was a guy who had a wonderful reputation in his hometown. He was well thought of. He was, a good kid, a golden boy. And I think some of it was that he just had a very evil side.
A tip came into the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Yeager accused of enticing a 15-year-old to send him sexually explicit photos for $700.
He used Instagram. Once he got one, he would then build out from there, sometimes using friend connections and taking over child's Instagram.
And when the teenagers decide not to participate,
he resorted to threats, intimidation, threatening to send those pictures to everyone in their contact list, to their parents.
Escalona says victims often think there is no way out. Some have resorted to suicide. Parents must be vigilant, know who your kids are talking to.
I am a working parent. I completely understand. I have 4 children, so I know how hard it is. My plea to parents is, if you are going to give your child one of these devices, please know about everything that is on that device.
That includes passwords, put on safeguards, and check the cell phones often. Eliminate apps that allow messaging within the app.
More than 60% of the time when these crimes occur, perpetrators are other youth or adults, our children, and possibly we already know.
Escalona's office has teamed up with the Advocacy Center in Huntsville, producing short videos to help parents understand the danger.
And they will give you direct information about ways to keep your kids safe, what to look for, and resources that are in the community.
And you can find links to those videos on our website. In July, Meta removed 63,000 Instagram accounts that were registered in Nigeria and connected to sextortion scams. Brenda?
Cynthia Gould reporting. And if there is an issue in your community, we would like to hear from you. Send us an email at newstips@abc30.
Very concerning, the fact that young males are the largest demographic to get caught up in these sextortion scams. And, they wreck families. They really do. There was a child on a documentary a year or so ago. He had sent a nude photo to what he thought was a cute girl who asked him, it wasn't unsolicited, she had asked him for a nude photo. But that person ended up being some person in Bangkok who, was not a girl, was not young, and used that to threaten him that if he didn't send $5,000 to them, that they would send that photo to his entire family, his school, other peers of his. And he was able to send them about 500, but then they still asked him for more, and he was unable to send any more. Instead of reaching out for help, he ended up unaliving himself, and his mum found him when she got home. I think that's incredibly sad, and that probably in a European household, while you would get yelled at, they're a little more free about the whole nakedness thing, and it would probably be a little embarrassing, but you wouldn't get in massive, there wouldn't be the kind of embarrassment that happens elsewhere, or to the point where you would have to do something like that. But it's still something that needs to be talked about, especially apparently with young men. Don't be sending them photos if you don't know who it is, if you haven't met them in person, don't be sending those photos. And probably just a good rule to not send them at all. Keep your nakedness for, in-person meetings only. Treat it like a Gumtree or, Craigslist sale, and only do it in person. Don't be taking no digital payments or digital photos. You probably get scammed. Get your kids off the internet, yes. Or at least get them off the social media apps and get them away from that. It's so hard nowadays to tell who is who and who's actually who they say they are. Even if you can get them on like a video chat, it doesn't mean that who you're speaking to is actually who they say they are. Those AI, and they can download videos from other cute people and play them, and you'll think it's them, but it's actually not them. It is a minefield. So Candy says it is horrific. Yes, it is. And we got to talk about it. Otherwise, these young kids don't know about it. But the ones who can tell them about it is their peers or older people in their lives. I don't know. You can't ask kids for $5,000. They don't even have that. What kid is walking around with $5,000? None that I know of. Like they don't have that type of money. Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, there you go. So that was from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, who often take tips and they do investigations into certain things. We heard about them in another investigation last week. They do a lot of good work. They say here they've seen victims as young as 8. They range from about 8 years old to 17. A lot of them are in the early teen range between 12, 13, 14 years old. And they said one recent case wrapped up in July when University of Alabama, a student called Aiden Yeager of Kentucky was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the sexual exploitation of minors. The government identified 19 victims across multiple states. This was a guy who had a wonderful reputation in his hometown. He was well thought of as a good kid, a golden boy. Some of it was he just had a very evil side to him. They saying the investigation started with a tip to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. He was accused of enticing a 15-year-old to send him sexually explicit photos for $700 cash. So there you go. Not just extortion, but people are trying to buy this content from children. Yeah, they'll send them to family, school, anything that has meaning to them, sports friends, their coach or whatever, anything like that. All right. All right. All right, let's see if I have one more in my list of stories for you. I think I had a hold on. You know what's interesting? If I check here once a week, like I always tell you, and now we've had Elijah taken down. Only one remains since earlier this year. Just one now from February. He's the last one who hasn't been resolved since this year started. And it's Sebastian Rogers. I can't wait to see that name get off this website. Because once it does, it means we've located him and we know what happened to him. So I cannot wait for that name to also come down, just like Elijah's did last week. I hope it's going to be soon, not too far away. Because his name has just been persistently there week after week, day after day, since February. We don't know too much more compared to what we knew the day he went missing, but I'm hoping that'll change. SF and the stepdad are back searching on Tuesday. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Let me see what else I have on my list. Actually, I think DJ sent me an Amber Alert I want to have a look at. Let's see if it's actually still active or not. Dominguez? Oh, interesting. There was a Dominguez children that went missing a while ago, but they were involved in something completely different. Wait, Maximilian Dominguez? Is that the same kid that is that the same name of the kid that was involved in that weird case we spoke about like a year ago? There was a child that was found in a storage locker in a safe or something, and then those kids hadn't been seen since like 2018. They ended up arresting the parents for it. Hold on. Let me check. No, they found this one. This one they located. I can take you to Fox 26 Houston, but that name is so familiar, and I wonder if it's a very similar name to the other ones that went missing. Here's a little kid, but apparently he's been found. Here's Dominguez. Jose Dominguez is his father. He's 42. This is the little boy, Maximilas, or Milias Dominguez. There you go. They probably just call him Max. But he was seen in the 4800 block of West 39th Street in Odessa, Texas, about 8:36 p.m. But he's been located. He was 6 years old. Let me look up the other Dominguez story. Yeah, Jesus Dominguez was the father. Here, you remember this one?
Story. 2 people are now in custody in connection with the deaths of 2 young children. Pueblo police say they have arrested Corina Minares and Jesus Dominguez on charges of first-degree murder. They're accused of killing Jesus Dominguez Jr. and Yesenia Dominguez. The children were last seen in 2018, though their bodies were not found until this year. Investigators are still calling this an open case, encouraging anyone who may know something about it to call police right away.
No time, baby.
Let me see if there was an update for that. It was a while ago. I know they ended up arresting the parents. Here, remains found in metal container and suitcase identified. And then they found the kid, and then they arrested the parents.
Tonight, we're hearing from the owner of a Pueblo storage facility after she found the remains of a child inside one of those units. Last month, police say the remains of Yesenia Dominguez were found in a container filled with concrete in King's Storage. She was just 3 years old when she was last seen in 2018. The investigation led them to a local scrapyard where investigators say they found the remains of Jesus Dominguez Jr. in a suitcase in the trunk of a car. He was 5 years old at the time of his disappearance. Their father, Jesus Dominguez, and a woman, Corina Rose Minjares, are accused in their deaths. The storage facility's owner says she recently filed an eviction order against Dominguez after not receiving payment.
We just never really saw him up until the closeout. And that's when everything went haywire. I think back to his character when he stood right here and was talking to me. There was no panic in him when I was evicting him. You know, you would think that there would be panic that he was being evicted, you know, and there wasn't.
Police arrested Dominguez and Minjares. They both faced 2 counts of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. The 2 children had been missing since 2018, but police say they were unaware of their disappearance until late last month.
Yeah, so they were found in like a storage locker, and then one was found in the back of a car. It was very strange. And they hadn't been seen since 2018, which was actually longer than either of the children had been alive. I think they were quite young. Okay. All right. I will do that. Someone sent me a message asking me to do something. I will do that in a minute. Moonlight, you have a lover. There you go. Monsters, yes, they are. I was hoping there might be an update for them, but looks like nothing has happened since February. Jesus, let's have a look. No, they were arrested in Feb, but doesn't look like their case has moved since then. They've been charged. They're in jail, but nothing recently. Yeah, nothing has really happened, but they are in custody, so other than that, not a lot. Yeah, let's see if I can find the original report. They said 2 adults in Colorado are facing charges in the death of 2 children after police found the remains of one child in a metal container filled with concrete, and further investigation led to the discovery of the remains of the other child. Police said Jesus Dominguez, 35, and Corena Minjares, 36, were identified as persons of interest when a child's remains was located in a metal container at a storage unit in late January. At the time, police said they were searching for 2 children last seen in the summer of 2018, and it's Yesenia and Jesus Jr. Dominguez. The children were about 3 and 5 years old, respectively, when they were last seen. During the investigation, detectives said they located a vehicle belonging to one of them at a scrapyard. Police executed a search warrant February 6 on that vehicle and found a suitcase in the trunk that they said contained the remains of a young male child. Police said the remains found in the container were identified as the young female. Those remains found in the suitcase were identified as the male, which was Dominguez Jr. Arrest warrants were obtained Thursday for both of the adults on charges of murder and abuse of corpse. Police said Minjares was arrested shortly after the warrants were issued, and Dominguez was arrested Saturday afternoon. They are each being held on a $2 million bond, according to online jail records. Police said their investigation revealed that no missing person reports were ever done for either child. Police say they were not made aware of the missing children until January 20. Yeah, I remember we actually found family members who were posting on TikTok saying that they were looking for information for the 2 children because they hadn't seen them in a very long time. And that's sort of how the investigation picked up steam, because family members were posting online about it. Shad says, "Oh, you're talking about a real dog? Okay. Okay. All right, my ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday night. It's been a long Sunday, especially for me and my Niners. I think we're going to wrap up for the night, but I am going to be back tomorrow at our normal time of 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. We will be back, and we'll be back to breaking news, true crime, because it'll be on Monday, which means we get a million updates about everything, because it's a Monday, and we always get new news on a Monday. Sundays are a little slow at times. Okay. Yeah, medical marijuana is legal now. Okay, my ladies and gentlemen, I love you so much. I have the best people who watch my channel in the world. I couldn't ask for better people. Always so supportive, willing to come in and watch the replay or leave a comment or send in a donation or two. The best people I could ever ask for. I will catch you tomorrow, 9 p.m. for a weekday show at 9 p.m. in the evening, and then a late show at midnight. So is Botox, that's right. Hey, night. I love you all. Good night, everyone. See you later. Have a great night. You can go now. You can go. Good night. Bye-bye. Peace out. See you later. Bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye.